Video is a form of art, and it's like you're creating a piece of artwork. And if you've ever thought that you liked art but you weren't good at art, you should try this class.
The mission of Troup ISD Video Department is through video, to explore, to discover, and to promote the activities of students and staff at Troup.
If you all go when you realize it's not going to even take this long, then we'll move it up, but we're not going to move it past that.
Through video, the students create art and learn how to make their own films.
How long have you been in the class?
Like since the beginning.
When was that?
Middle school, like 7th grade.
Year?
Can I get a piece of paper?
You need a pencil?
Yes. It's 17 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, no action!
2013.
What have you learned from Mr. McGee?
Get to the point, otherwise you're gonna lose time, and time is money.
So without the film class, do you think you'd be who you are today?
Oh no.
What do you mean?
Like this class has been the biggest effect on my life out of all of my classes besides basic knowledge. Well, a while back I was making an excuse for why I couldn't go film something. So he said, oh really? Yeah, well, yeah, what are you gonna do? Yeah, what, like, go on, go tell me about it. So you've gotta tell me yes or no. I don't care about excuses. So I learned from that and became the person I partly am today.
First, and try to make, take characters from that TV show, a cartoon, and take pieces.
They learn techniques and methods from modern filmmaking to use in their productions.
So how many years ago was it when they asked you to start the video?
This is the 3rd year, so it's been three years total.
So his class is graduating next year, and there's going to be brand new faces. How does that make you feel that the class that started with you when you started doing this too is also leaving and probably going off, some of them even to pursue careers because of what you've taught?
Well, of course that, would make anybody feel good. I mean, if someone actually chooses to do something that they hadn't already been thinking about doing as a result of being in my class, well, of course that, feels good. There's a new crop every year, and I enjoy the ones that have been here longer. We can do new things, and they're not going over old things. We're moving forward and all kind of learning things together, because I know almost nothing relative to a professional would know about all this. And so I try to keep ahead of the students, but that doesn't always happen either. So there's always new people coming in. They start from the ground up, and I almost feel actually kind of embarrassed that people leaving that have the idea that they actually want to go on and do something like this, they're going to run across people that have been doing it for 20 years or 30 years and that have worked for production studios and TV stations, and those are the people that are really going to know about all this stuff. I want people to come back and say, hey, I've decided to do this career, but Mr. McGee, there's a lot of stuff you don't know, and I know that's going to happen, and that'll be all right, but I kind of, I don't feel like I've trained everybody like the way they should be trained to go on and do a career like this. So I think the thing I've done that I most like is that I've maybe inspired some people to do it. And so it's more about just the passion of this subject and field, as opposed to me being a technical expert in all of it, which I'm not in any of it.
What's the main thing you've learned from the past 3 years from teaching this class, or even like learning from it yourself?
I always had an interest in movies and movie making, and ever since I was a kid I've written like little scripts for movies I planned on making someday, So I always had an interest in it, but I never knew how much detail there was in just every aspect of the thought that goes into it. And so that's made it exciting for me. Even more exciting than I thought it would be when I first got this job is learning about all the things that go into it, and what's the difference between what we do here and what a professionally constructed movie would look like, and then trying to raise our standards to match the ideals of the people that make those kind of movies. I feel like I never anticipated, though, when I was teaching math, I would, there's a lot of different ways of doing a math problem, and so it was always fun and challenging for me to try to figure out why exactly a certain student wasn't able to understand a particular kind of problem. So I would, that was part of the challenge, is to try to see where they were coming from and then figure out a way of saying things and approaching a problem in such a way that the light turned on for them. So that same thing happens in the video production, and I still enjoy that. I try not to tell people what I think they should do. I try to say things and show them things and let them see things, and in the hopes that they will themselves come to the realization that, oh, I need to do X, Y, or Z here, and then realize for themselves that it would become better if they did that. So it's always a fine line between saying, well, you have to put a transition in there, versus setting them up, basically tricking them into figuring that out for themselves.
In hopes of maybe enlightening the newer students that will look back on this, what would you tell them?
Well, I would say that to just be completely open-minded. Video is a form of art, and it's like you're creating a piece of artwork. And if you've ever thought that you liked art but you weren't good at art, you should try this class, because this is another form of artwork. And there's a lot of little things to learn, and it's fun when you piece them all together to create your masterpiece. And you can always tinker with your masterpiece after you're finished with it forever and make it better. And it exists forever, and you'll always be able to go back and look at yourself and your work. And I just think it's a really well-rounded challenge to make a video, because it uses a lot of parts of your brain, and there's just a lot of different things that need to go into making a really good video. And I would say step on in for the challenge.
Okay. I think that's about all.
Okay. Well,
In the end,
Because we were
there are many more faces to be seen and places to be filmed. It's just a matter of who will film them.